All right, so doing a mock draft, kind of a post Joe Milton trade mock draft, because, well, the compensation was picks, and it seems like it's this year, and it's a fifth, which I think a lot of people, I mean, I was hopeful they'd get a third for somebody who was really desperate. Very optimistic in my opinion. I was a late third, early fourth. Now, they're getting a fifth from Dallas, plus also giving up a seventh. I don't know which seventh, and I also don't know which fifth we're talking about for Dallas, which is interesting, because as far as I know, I think Dallas has a lot of picks in that fifth, sixth range, so we'll have to take a look and see what those actually might be. So let's do it. Let's considering maybe the Patriots are looking for another QB in this draft, and I'm sure it's not going to be a swap for the fifth. It'll probably be, late round. There'll probably be several UDFAs in this draft class that are actually quite solid. So let's take a look. Let's see what we got. I mean, I don't think you're going to get a Joe Milton in the sixth pick again, but maybe. I don't know. In the sixth round. Yeah, let's go in. I forgot. So this gives me a chance. Yeah, okay. So we'll trade. And we're trading. I'm just gonna assume it's our best seventh. I don't know which one it is. I think it would make a difference in my opinion what you'll get at 217. But look, here, we don't know if we're talking 149 or 171 or 174. I'm gonna be optimistic and say it's the 149. All right, I can't do players though, right? So we'll just use something for next year. That's fine. It doesn't matter because we're not going to use it. All right, so that gave us 140 something, right? What was it? 149. All right. I'm going to assume we're going to do this as Travis Hunter's gone, so we can have that. We've had that discussion numerous times. The Armand Membo versus Will Campbell. I could do a brief thing on that right now. I'm still on the Will Campbell edge here just because, basically you know what you're getting. Membo would be a little projection. Mizzou's offense did not require, depending on where they were in the field and what part of the hash marks or whatever, and what was the wide or the field side. If there was wide nines being involved, but most of this, true pass sets, Membo didn't really have a lot of them, and he had shallow verticals, so it's not like he's going deep with. Campbell would have to do everything, so I'm going on. I think I know what Will Campbell is. Membo I like. Keep in mind, I did analysis on Membo. I think even before the season started, it was about 7 months ago for the Membo analysis. I'm good on Membo. I was good with Membo. I thought he'd be a second rounder with the idea of him being with some flex inside at guard. I made this note. He's basically Mike Onwenu, but lighter. Quicker on his feet, but you're talking like that 6'3", 6'4" build, but really long arms. Really good typewriter feet. But the hip construction, I don't think it's going to allow for really solid extension of the kick leg. Going to have to really rely upon that front leg driving off hard, which if he keeps his pad level low enough, he'll be able to rotate his hips enough to get that vertical push, get his vertical sets. I'd have to watch it a little bit more and maybe put through B1 to see if that's if there's any anthropometrics or. Because if you have your torso forward, if you keep your torso forward, that rotates your hips, right? And that will allow you that your kick leg, right? Your back leg, what we're kicking on, will be able to kick out further, which will give you some balance, but obviously cover a little bit more ground. I'd have to watch it a little bit more. But I know Will Campbell can do it, so I'm going with Will Campbell. For all those who are like at Membo at 4, I don't hate it. I like it because I know he's a decent right tackle, and I don't know if Kane Wallace is a really great right tackle. I like Kane Wallace. I thought that was actually a decent pick last year in the third round. So that makes sense. I'm hoping Kane Wallace develops, or maybe Kane Wallace is your swing tackle for years to come, which, a lot of, I almost see your swing tackle, like your legit swing tackle, essentially being on the same level as a starter, really. I mean, maybe not in terms of like compensation or how you see it on the depth chart, but like in terms of how vital it is. One of those two guys, whoever it may be, Moses or whoever's at left tackle, or if it is Wallace, someone's going to get hurt at some point. They're going to miss time for a concussion or a roll or something worse. So your left tackle or your swing tackle needs to be legit. So if it is Kane Wallace in that's good. I think that for a third rounder, and it might suck not to be the starter, but that would be on modern day NFL. That's a valuable player. It's like the 6-man type of thing. All right, sorry, I went on a little rant there. Now, what did we get out? Ooh, who dropped out? Harmon's not bad. Don't discount like a D tackle maybe falling out. I suspect the last like 5 or 6 picks we're gonna in the first round will have several D tackles or edge rushers. Wow. Doubtful on all these guys making it through. Burden, Ibuka, Donovan Jackson, Landon Jackson. See, I think Landon, someone else brought up a few other prospects. I think the Bills take Landon Jackson. Because if we take Will Campbell, if you want the kryptonite for Will Campbell, it's Landon Jackson. He has some of the best matchups against Will. And if he makes it through, I'm not letting him get in the second. I'm gonna can't beat him, join him, or in this case, can't. You want to worry about him in Buffalo, draft him. Now the thing about him, like I did a video on him, is that we're gonna lose out on some bigger edge rushers here. I mean, Birch, Olu, Kyle, all solid right here. I wouldn't mind getting them at 77, but Josiah's that crazy wide 9. Princely can kind of have. He's good first step. Play strength is questionable. He'd be kind of not a burner like Josiah, but he would be that dynamic edge rusher. But he'd be coming down. He'd be your third down guy, which not. I think you can probably maybe pick up a third down guy later on here. Like I don't even say one of these guys here, Kennard makes it like 77. Even if we got one at 38, that wouldn't be a bad pickup. Now the thing about Landon would be he plays edge, right? Hand down, solid defensive end, but I mean, out of everybody that's left here, he's definitely gonna have your best run defense. Ashton's pretty solid there too. Barron's pretty solid in that way. Tyler's phenomenal with that. Ja's pretty good. Antoine's really underrated on their board. And Johnny Walker's solid too. There's a lot of good edge rushers out left in this draft. But if you're looking for a guy who can play actual D end, but then do the pass rush, but then also can play D tackle. Now, Barmore seems like there's some hope. It has not been, just written off. He's working out, so that means they're at least got something under control and it's improving. Will it flare back up? I don't know. Now here's the thing: regardless if it does or it doesn't, say he plays forever, you're still gonna always want to have somebody that can play like him, that is big, long, disruptive, and can, not only hold a gap but penetrate. Barmore is very talented with that. Whatever he's doing is not going to be. He's going to give you trouble every snap. Same thing with Landon. So if you want to move him inside, he's even played upright wide 9s. So, and he's got the physical attributes to it. So I'm going to go with Landon here. Except, it's kind of hard to pass on Ibuka or Burden. I don't mind going after Elick or Jaden though at 69 or 77. Let's take a look at interior offensive linemen. Donovan's. Oh yeah. See, I can go after. I would love both these guys. I wouldn't hate if they got him here. Donovan would be. Oh gosh, that's pretty. But here's the thing: I'm just a one on Jonah. He's growing on me because he's played left and right tackle. He's played right guard, and in high school he's a left guard. So, I mean, say Will Campbell's a problem, you got that. Now, that would be the insurance for Donovan. Donovan's also probably your best left guard besides Tyler Booker in this draft. This is tough. But right now, I want Jackson. Yeah. So I'm going to take... I got to get Landon Jackson here. Because it's edge, but he's a D lineman. Okay, so there's Jonah. Wide receivers, are we still alive with anybody? All right, we can go with Jalen. That's not a problem with me if I can get him at 77. If I can't, we're going to be a little SOL. So let's take a look at interior offensive linemen. Marcus is pretty good too. Tate Ratledge. Okay, so guards are pretty good. Wide receivers. Missing out on... I can also go Kyle Williams at 106. Restrepo at 144 if he makes it. Savion I'd do at 106 or 144. I'd be interested to know what they think about him. Ty Felton as a burner. Dante as a burner. Isaac. Tisla. I'd get him in the 200s. I don't know if he'll make it, though. So we have some, there's potential here. I think the Jonah is probably your better bet here. By the way, Carson's not going to make it this far. It sounds like this guy might even go first round. I'll say this. If he's really there, and they haven't gone, say they went O tackle, and then they picked up, I don't know, if they went with a running back or a wide receiver in the second, and Carson's still sitting there, I would go with him, because I think Carson actually could have significant pass rush blitzing ability. He definitely has. I mean, he can do it. But I think honestly, if you really wanted to just tell him hey, on third down, that's your job. That's not a bad idea. All right, so I'm gonna go with Jonah here. Mason Taylor's pretty hard to pass up to, but I need somebody who can play guard. I know we've spent years of draft capital on guards. I don't know, and he plays tackle. Right now, he's primarily a right tackle. So you have backup left and right tackle. Maybe he develops injury. Maybe he is your right tackle in a couple years, but you want to just start him at left guard for a year or two or whatever. I might be wrong. I don't know what their game plan is. Oh, please. Still at Jalen. All right. So game plan now. Still looking for a slot corner. Safety, potentially. Slot corner, safety, running back obviously is going to definitely be in there somewhere. I should have taken a look at running back. Oh, Dylan Sampson. They really apparently they're bringing him in for 30 visit. Let me take a look who else is there. But him, both, here's the problem. Both, Sampson and Tootin are kind of similar. Tootin's a little bit more explosive vertically, and he's pretty good on his feet. I'd say Dylan, his vision's a little bit better in some cases. Home run threat, Bashul. Dylan probably just a little bit more elusive. The only thing I would say is that they both have fumbling problems. RJ Harvey's a good pickup too. Jadon's a speeder. Bashard's fast. Khalil, local kid. I think Khalil, with the right, he could be your fullback guy. And I'm not talking just blocking. I think he could. He's got decent hands, but the fact that he'd be your fullback. He's obviously really good on special teams. Former linebacker, kid from Boston. So I always have that just because the guy's not gonna have problems adjusting to New England. LeQuint's also a really good receiving back. Raheem Sanders, former wide receiver, conversion, huge guy. 6'1" or 2" and high 230s. He's a monster. Donovan Edwards there. Let's see anybody else. Phil Maffa's a monster. Same thing with Quinton Jackson. He's kind of lost I thought he was great last year. I thought he should have came out. He's another big back. Corey, I'm not so much. I have to watch more on him. Micah Bernard's speedster. Trey Stewart is, him and Josh Simmons are incredibly, criminally underrated. Lan Larison, also an amazing. Actually, I would say him and Marcus Yarns are probably your best guys that could be true speed receiving backs. Maybe you wouldn't put him at all. Lan can block though. He's definitely committed to it. But they both play a decent amount of slot snaps. Penny's a big back. Penny, what do they call him? Baby bus, mini bus boom. Brock Lamp's a big fullback. Anybody else in here that we need to make note of? I'm sure I'm missing somebody in here. Monangai. So, back to this. Is there anybody in here that we should probably... Shamar Turner, Joshua Farmer. For D tackle, Terrence Ferguson. Okay, let's do an assessment here. Like Belton, Ty Robinson for D tackle. If you're looking for dudes that just are not gonna suck. Jeez, Joshua Farmer's got some. That guy can mess people up. Omar, I'm good on. Shamar, I'm good on. Like, they're good, but questions about them. Joshua and Ty Robinson, I have a lot less questions, and I know what they are. Same thing with Aeneas. I don't know if there's any off-field situations, but he's one of your better. And same with Vernon. Like, both these guys are pretty solid. Elijah's violent. Riley Mills coming off an injury, but if he wasn't, he'd probably be a top 100 pick. Thor. Big. I think he had like 42 or 43 reps in the bench. All right, so Terrence might not be a bad pick here, because now we got 49. It's kind of hard to pass on Terrence, but you know what? Aronde Gadsden's still my guy, even though he's more of a big body receiver. And are we? Yeah, Tess. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If I miss out, how about this? If we miss out on Aronde, we can just go with Isaac Tisla. Because he's actually decent blocking. He's a big dude, too. 6'2". I mean, he's not like 6'4", 6'5", like Aronde, but I think he's like 6'2", 6'3", like 220, I think, ish. Maybe 215. I might be wrong on that. The other guy, by the way, I won't get around to this, and I feel terrible. Efton I'll get to. Nair, I hopefully... Brew McCoy. Coming back from a dislocated ankle. Like Dak Prescott, Trey Lance type of situation there. Really bad. But if you want a huge, big-bodied receiver, I think he's like 6'3", 6'4", but he's like 230 almost. Monster. He's been a big jump ball guy for Tennessee for a while. Sorry that I keep going through all this. Do I go Makuba? How are we looking at safety? The safety is probably... It gets its strength as you get, like, lower. I mean, the value-wise. So deeper you get in this like, I mean, some of these guys, it's like, yeah. I mean, Makuba's probably pretty smart to get. He can cover... That reminds me, let's take a look at corner. Yeah, Makuba would probably be your... Because Parrish is gone, he would be my top guy for a corner. Him and Upton Stout. Noel Williams can play some safety as well. So, but I'm going to go with Makuba. I think he knows how to play it. All right. I don't know if they like him or not, though. I don't know. What are we going to get for 144? I can take a D tackle. I can take running back. I took my running backs. RJ Harvey. We can take a receiving back later on. Possibly UDFA. Oh, we could have got Billy Bowman. I forgot about him. Shoot. Well, not perfect, guys. Wide receivers. Interior offensive lineman. I like Dylan Fairchild. He's my absolute terror. Stutzman at this late is pretty tempting. I don't want to do any trades because I want to, like... Maybe, though. I mean, if it was this situation where I'm not, like... Let's take a look at tight end situation. Rondé's still on the board. Luke Lachey, I can also do them. Hopefully they make it to 220. If they don't, let's take a look at wide receiver. Isaac's still on the board. Okay. D tackles. Yeah, Cam's still there. Let's take a look for centers. Lampkin can play center. Clay Webb, Drew Kendall. I think McKay is a center as well. Cox is. Thomas Perry. So plenty of centers left. I'm going to hold off. D-tackle one more time. I'm sorry. Because like after this, we have some time. Like there's Tonka's good. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, linebacker. Yeah, let's take a look at linebacker situation. Nick Martin later on. Cody Simon later on. Lindenberg's still there. Dolak is going to be there. Balgoa. Maui. Anybody else in here? Tyreen Powell. This guy again. Take a look. Oh, not Tyreen. Well, Tyreen, yes. But take a look at this Wilson. He is so interesting. Hoplite. Very underrated. I don't know why he's this low. Jackson Woodard's another guy. Adam Bach's pretty good. Yeah, there's some good names on here that's this low. Just like Justin Flo. Jacob Dobbs. I'm going to have to do one on him. If you want, like, a dude that is just an absolute warrior, Jacob Dobbs. Former, and again, you can see it says Holy Cross, but he's at JMU. Absolute monster. Matt Jones is also pretty solid, too. Bigger dude. I could definitely see him being a UDFA potential or even at least a rookie camp invite. It's like we're going to have so many linebackers if it was up to me out of this class. So do I go with Stutzman right here? I mean, as a physical tone setter, yeah, I mean... I like Burke, I like Torrey Horton, but what's the play here that we're going to miss? The mistake was getting Makuba. Although I do like him. I mean, let's not say it's a mistake, but like we probably... Billy Bowman here versus somebody else that I could have got at 106. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, Za's got some length to him. Yeah, you know what? We don't need, because we have Makuba. That's probably, actually, no, I just talked to myself. Makuba plays corner, so played corner before he converted truly to safety, so we're good. I've talked myself into being right again. All right. Torrey Horton's kind of talking to me. How many picks do we have left, though? All right, you know what? I'm going to go with... yeah, so I just keep talking myself right out of it. I think I'm going to go with Peebles. I could be wrong about him, but I think his tape looks good. Stats look pretty good in terms of, metrics. I guess it could have been a quarterback there too. If there was anybody, is there anybody decent left? I guess we have to consider quarterback too, huh? See, that's what I'm doing. All right, so there's Isaac. He's going to be yep. Shit. Arande's gone. Damn. So is Lachey. Huh. Well, maybe you'd have to be one of those two at 149. G. Scott, keep an eye on him as he's a fullback. He's really good as a fullback. Malik the Freak Carr is also interesting. I don't know why he's this far down. Oots, obviously we've talked about him. Nesbitt, I was hoping he looks, he's just doesn't really, just the athleticism is just lacking. CJ's a big freak too. I'm not there though with those guys right now. Maybe these are probably all UDFA situations. Speaking of fullbacks, is Willie's gone. I was gonna say Willie Lampkin could be our dude. Now we have some center that we could probably pick up at 238. Tyler Batty, that's another. Didn't even think about him because he can play some D tackle. Nick Martin being there. He fits the mold, so that's probably smart. But missing, I don't know. That's the problem. We're missing a big physical receiver besides. Oh no. Well, he's all it for 1 or 2 years now. All right, let's do Nick Martin because it probably is something the Patriots would go after at this point. Really fits that mold that they like. And then I guess we'll see what we got left. Jabbar would be, if we missed Makuba and we didn't get a slot guy, Jabbar plays some decent slot. Craig Woodson. Yeah, see, Colin Oliver's a freak too. Shoot, I forgot about him. Yeah, we can pick up a dynamic edge right here. I'd probably go with Antoine because of his versatility, but well, we can maybe talk about picking up a quarterback. Let's go with Riley Leonard. He's a winner. Not a great arm, very athletic, die hard. We'll just say because we need a quarterback now. Because I doubt that's in the system. Now, is this great? I don't know. This would make sense to me, though. Will Campbell, obviously picking up the left tackle position. And, of course, people are going to say, well, he might be a guard. I'm not going to have... We're done. We've exhausted that. But I think I've heard of several other people, which it was kind of my first thought when everybody said he might be moved in a guard. That was 7 months ago. Is, he doesn't work for a year or two. Yeah, maybe you have to throw him in there. Offensive line needs 3 spots, guys. And just so you know, the Patriots were actually quite aggressive. Again, the Patriots for several years in a row going out and maybe not getting the top guy, but picking up nearish the top guys in free agency. Keep in mind, Trent Brown last year was one of the top tackles in free agency. Morgan Moses was one of the top right tackles in free agency. The Patriots have, not that we re-signed Trent Brown, but point being is the teams, there's not all these amazing tackles that really get out on the market once it hits free agency, right? So, yeah, so Will Campbell, if it's... You got to get offensive linemen in general, too. So then you have Will Campbell, Jonah Williams, both working there. They can, obviously... Jonah would put, again, for that left guard position. And at worst, he is your developmental right tackle, but then also he's played left. So maybe he's also backup for Will Campbell. I don't know. Just a solid offensive lineman that's played 4 out of the 5. Landon Jackson, like I said, would be your Dietrich Wise replacement. And on top of that, which I know they're going to figure out a way to replace that in general, but it's also some Barmore insurance. He's played a lot of snaps at D-tackle at multiple technique alignments. Jalen Noel, I mean, I'm not huge on getting a slot receiver, but every year I say, like, oh, we don't really need another guy because we have so many guys that come out of the slot. This guy's good. This guy's good. And if you can get him at 77, great. Makuba was probably the one pick that I was like, maybe I should have thought about that one a little bit more. But after further review, hey, it's actually not that bad. You know why? Because he plays safety, but, when he's at Clemson, he played corner, he played slot, he played on the perimeter. He's a good defensive back, and he's probably what everybody kind of wants out of a safety right now for the Patriots. Now, here's the problem. I don't know what's going on with the safety room. So adding another I mean, did we pick up 2 already? It just seems like we have a million safeties, and they're not all used the same, and I don't know who's going to survive. But that's the thing. If you don't want him at safety, he's played legitimate slot corner. So let him do that. Let him be Marcus's backup or contend with Marcus for that. And he's played on the perimeter as well, so there's some depth there. All 3. Harvey, not my absolute favorite running back, but at 144, yeah, I'm in. I would definitely consider getting Land Larison, Marcus Yarns, Josh Williams, LaQuint Allen. I don't know where he'd get drafted, but I'd go with him later on. But Marcus Yarns, I don't know if he's getting drafted. Land Larison, I don't know if he's getting drafted. I don't know if Josh Williams is being drafted, but all 3 of those guys are pretty solid. Oh, and what's his face from USC? Woody or whatever. Throw him into the mix. Those are a bunch of like really good receiving backs. And I would say, yeah, Josh Williams might be one of your better third down versions of that guy because he can definitely pass block if needed. And he's pretty fast. I mean, I think he was right around 4.5 or in the high 4.4s as pro day, but like his vert's through the roof. Big hands, super powerful. So Aeneas, that would be one of the ones where I'm not sure if that's a Patriots type of guy and how he plays, but very talented defensive tackle. Him being at 149 would just be, you got to figure out something to do with the guy. I mean, I think some people think he's easily a top 100. So him at 149, that's a steal. Nick Martin fits their linebacker profile that they've been known for. Now, again, linebacker being another position where it's like, how many more linebackers do we need? I think there might be some additional turnover coming. We'll see. Riley Leonard, you lost a quarterback. I thought that was just an obvious pickup at 238. It could be a center. Thomas Perry, Clay Webb, Kendall from BC. One of those 3 makes sense to me. There's probably Gus Hartwig, yeah, from Purdue would be in there as well. What other UDFAs? Tight ends. Several tight ends that you would bring in. Big body receivers. There's actually a decent amount of those 2 guys. If you needed to bring another one in, Isaiah Nayer, Tisla. I don't know. He probably got drafted. Yeah. So Nayer, Anderson from Oklahoma would be in there. Yeah. So anyway, lots going on there. Plenty of guys that you could probably still pick up. Probably could go safety even. What's his face from Marcus Siegel? Yeah, Marcus Siegel from Kansas State is pretty good. He's another safety guy that could be in there. Wohler from Wisconsin, solid. Could have held off on safety as well. Edge guys, plenty of UDFAs. Anyway, so I guess the take home here is what we really benefit on. Not much. I think maybe it's... Now, what would be their strategy on this if they got the 149 one? I think that might be... Yeah, running back, D-tackle, maybe an edge, or tight end. Right, yeah. I mean, maybe it's just the idea that there's some guys that are probably... might be seen as a little bit more deeper on day 3. but they don't want to take the chance. They have somebody in mind. They probably have a really good idea what they want to get in the first 2 days of the draft. And there's definitely going to be some guys that they want to grab that should be there at 149. Or maybe they do the 177s, and maybe it's just because they don't want to go too long without having a pick. Because it would be 144 to 2, whatever it is. So maybe it's just maybe it's not the 149s, maybe it's the 170s. They're just trying to get something in there that will allow them to be a little bit more, either take the guy or maybe move up with that or off that, or move slightly back with that. We'll see. Who knows what their draft strategy is, but it's interesting. As for Milton and everybody else involved, I think Dallas gets obviously a promising quarterback. There's not a lot of great quarterbacks in the draft. I think they got a good value for it. For the Patriots, it really just comes down to, hey, did you get 149 or did you get one of the 170s? And that 149 could be a starter this year. So, trading Joe Milton as a backup quarterback to potentially grabbing a starter at 149, I'll take it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Is it good? What do you think about which one do you think it is? We have no updates on what it is, right? So let me know in the comment section below. If you guys like this content, please like and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching.